Hello, we are Nerds of the West. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are giving what I guess is our final review of Dune Imperium. We have played this as the base game. We have played this with the Rise of Ix, and today and previously we have played it with the Immortality, the final expansion. Today we are ranking Dune Imperium with all expansions, because that is what we do here. We don't just say this game is a 10 out of 10. We rank it on our board, what we personally would prefer to play. We, the people that are going to be talking, we have Dune fan Sean.
Hey.
We have Dune not fan Reese.
Boo!
And Dune movie super fan, I should probably read the books at some point, Tom. I want to start just as a base. What do you guys think of the Immortality expansion? That is the new thing for us. What cool things? Did you like it? Did it add enough to the game? Did it justify its existence?
I think it does, because the whole grafting mechanic, that's a big part of that, is you play, instead of one card on your turn to play out an agent, you're playing two and you're getting the benefits of both, and you can do some really cool plays with that and some cool combos. So for me, I think it does add a good different angle to the game there with that extra card being played. This track, I don't know how I feel about this track itself.
It just seemed like a nice extra addition.
It's just, I guess it's just another thing that, you can climb up on. Maybe you can make something out of it where potentially without it you might not. So again, it's just increasing the payout of any combo that you could get rolling.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of deck building games. I still play Star Realms multiple times a week. Deck building's awesome. I really expected the grafting mechanic to be more of a deck building mechanic where you build to draw more cards and do more things. And there was that side of it. But grafting to me really nailed the worker placement part of this game.
Yeah.
Grafting was like, all right, I want the ability of this card. Normally it might even just be drawing an extra card or two. But I also want the ability to go somewhere on the board. Just opening up your options for where you end up going on the board in a worker placement game. It's such a brilliant idea, and it works so well.
What do you think, Reese?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I think it's interesting. I didn't play the
Rise of Ix.
So this was the introduction to everything. Mm-hmm. But I actually really dug what this added to the game with the grafting, with going up to the board, even the extra track that you can go on. It's just, I have a bigger comment of everything together, but this itself, I actually just really dig. I would play normal Dune and this.
Okay.
The number one thing that Immortality adds, the token that lets you refresh the market in any deck building game where the market gets stuck, it sucks. In Star Realms, you get the rounds where, I'm going back to it, you just end up waiting to get enough money to buy something. In this, that is entire turns.
Well, I think that's really good, because especially when you are playing with all expansions, because you now have so many cards in there. And I will say we hit multiple points in that game where it's just the market sucked. And then you're just sort of buying cards because you're I need something good to show up. So it's good that you have that one time a game refresh to be no, I really need to buy something. I'm behind. Let's clear this out.
No, it is a good thing. Especially with so many cards there, and with two expansions on the base game, they've added more cards again.
Yeah.
So it allows you to see more of that deck.
And it's not an intrusive mechanic either. I can see they've added it in because this is a problem.
Well, as I was saying, some people before this had played the game where you just remove anything that costs one because it's just not worth buying. It's clogging up the deck.
Yeah. So,
this leaves those options in.
Yeah, it's one of those when they release an expansion, it fixes a thing, which I'm not usually a fan of, but because I'm just it really should have been addressed in the original game, but whatever. But it's not intrusive. It's everyone gets it. They can do it one time a game. It wipes, more things come out. Generally, when people are there's nothing there, the whole table's going, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
we've played Immortality before, but you said that there's no Immortality. Rise of X. This was your first time playing Rise of X.
Yeah.
Do you remember enough about the base game to know what Rise of X fixes, or would you like me to go through the basics?
Maybe go through it like for the audience. I know exactly what it fixes. No.
The main thing is it overlays onto this board. So it gets rid of a few spaces over there to gain more troops. The main thing it gets rid of is selling spice for Solari.
Right.
Which you just go, sell spice, get your extra worker, churn way quicker, get more things going way quicker. And it really changes when you're going up this track, but it adds the interaction with these tech tiles. I adore the tech tiles. I love any game that goes, hey, here's how the game works. Have a little bit extra of this. Have a little bit more of this. Change up a couple of things. Give yourself a few extra bonuses or ways to go. I love that tech tiles have both end-game scoring and bonuses that you get when you buy them. And like my whole game plan went from, all right, let's go combat to let's go combat at the start, win one combat, destroy that dreadnought, get that victory point, zoom off into the lead. I love moments like that when the game does new interesting things.
Yeah.
And a different thing to spend spice on is just a good way to play the game.
Yeah. Like the X, I'm not as high on the X expansion, just because to me it doesn't like seeing those changes. I totally understand because it now opens up the options of things to do rather than everyone being like, well, I got to get spice to make money to do things to like. It did add some variance into like, all right, well, I can do this, do that, do something else, whatever. To me, it's just sort of there. Like,
I can definitely understand that point of view. The other thing it adds is dreadnoughts.
Like, I
think dreadnoughts are sick.
I'm not upset with it.
Yeah.
I'm not like offended. I'm just like, it's there or not. I'm indifferent. Like, it's.
I think the main point that I hit on my previous review of this was I can't go back to the base game. Everything that adds is good. It makes the game better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, I think that about Immortality as well. Any thoughts on you, Sean, on either expansions, anything going on here before I talk about characters?
No, you guys have covered up exactly what I was going to say. So.
Well, what do you think about characters then? Because the expansions, we all played expansion characters today, and you guys both played level 3, the most difficult characters.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find that interacting with the game systems? How did you find changing it up? Like you were getting less spice the whole game. Was that a detriment? Was the payoff worth it? Was it a fun way to play the game?
It was a fun way. So just for a recap for the people watching, I was playing Countess Ariana Torvald. Her ability is that whenever I get harvest spice from one of the 3 board spaces that allow you to do that, I take one less, but I get to draw a card. So that's when you pick one of these characters, you do have to think a lot about what they're going to do for you and really try and lead into that, because if you don't and your opponents are, they've already got that little bit of an edge on you. So I was really trying to build my deck in a way where I was able to draw a lot out of it, which you guys saw during that playthrough.
Basically hit your signet ring like every single turn.
Every single turn I hit my signet ring.
Which
almost.
Is free water.
Yeah, extra water. So I think they are good. I didn't really feel like going for the more difficult one because all of them have these dots on them, which sort of indicate their level of complexity. So you go
my guy was just free cards, scrap cards.
Yeah, I don't think it's difficulty, it's more complexity.
Yeah, complexity. Yeah. And I don't think it hinders you either. Like if you can play it and you got your strategy down, like this game is very strategy filled, you can do well with any character. So I think all the characters I've done so far are great. I enjoy and I want to play them all.
Reese probably had the most worker placement-y character I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Where you were planning ahead from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I love that they leaned into that. How did you feel?
So this isn't really a strategy that I play because I'm very much when I play Dune, or Dune Imperium, I should say. When I play Dune Imperium, I'm very much I'll sort it out on the day. I'm not like a plan ahead type dude. So this was really interesting. And to me, and this is where it gets me wanting to play again. Because with the basic cards, because this is the 3rd time I've played as a rather difficult person. rather difficult person. Because I played as, like, a while ago, the last time I played this, not this week, I played as Baron Harkonnen, which his ability is really interesting, where you can reveal, what is it?
You pick 2 of the factions,
Yeah.
and then you reveal them to move up on them.
At a certain point.
Yeah. And when you win a combat with a certain
Something like
amount of
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I think I played 3 on Tuesday.
No,
I
you just
can't remember.
you played Duke Atreides earlier.
Oh, he's
Nothing
a 2.
too crazy.
But yeah, and then played Elisa today. What I like about playing the more complex ones is that it makes me want to play more, because not only do I get a feeling of what the character does and what the mechanic it introduces does, but it makes me want to go, how can I do this more efficiently? There were times during that game where I was more focused on having the ability trigger than playing optimally, especially towards the end, where I was like, I didn't really need to put this card away and play it. I could have played another card, but so I didn't. Towards the end, it sort of came off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting, and
To me, the fact that there are so many different characters that they can have and so many different ways to interact with this could be a very bloated, messy game where you're struggling to get things going and everything feels weird, and the disparity between players is huge. But with all of this going on and all of those different things happening, this game still feels tight, and it still feels like every decision matters while having everything go in different directions. I adore this game, and before we rank it on the list, one quick final question, 2-word answers. Do you think the art's good?
Oh, yes, 100%.
And do you think, especially considering the fact that we're playing with the deluxe upgrade kit, do you think the deluxe upgrade kit is worth it and the components are good?
Components are good, yes. I actually prefer the
Just the minis?
The minis. It's also because
I love having the little troops instead of little cubes, personally.
To me, it's more just like the iconography. When it says cubes, if you're playing with someone new, you have to be like, oh, by the way, the cubes are soldiers.
Cubes mean soldiers.
It's like, to me, it's like I actually do like the
simplicity.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah,
so that's my 2-word answer.
I spent money on the upgrade kit. I love it.
Yeah.
So, with all that in mind, we now have to rank it on our Nerds of the West ranking list. If you guys want to pull that bad boy up. As I said earlier, this isn't 1 to 10 how we think each game is absolutely perfect in every way. Just, if given the opportunity, what we personally would prefer to play. I know it is sideways for you. We can't stab these boys in the chest very well. I would like to point out that Dune Imperium is currently 5th on this list, and Rise of Ix with Dune Imperium is 3rd on the list. Would anyone like to go before me? Because Reese said he had comments.
Yeah. What have you got to say there, Reese? Well,
okay.
You said you had a comment.
Yeah. So, I actually don't agree with you.
Interesting.
Where you're like, not to the point where I'm 100% against you.
Yeah.
But I think it is just that little bit too much with all the expansions. I think there's just that little bit too much to think about, and that really drags out the gameplay. And that's where I'm like, I would play with either Rise of Ix or Immortality. I wouldn't do both.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm probably going to put it under Archeo Society. It's still very good, very fun, but it is just because there's already a lot to think about in the base game. And I feel like the expansions open it up so that you're not completely screwed if someone takes it over, but opens it up too much to the point where you are just sort of, you've got that downtime. And that's the one thing where I'm like, and we saw it today because you wanted to wrap up quickly.
Yeah.
So that's like, to me, it's like if you want to wrap up quickly, the game has outstayed its welcome.
Oh, that was me trying to wrap up quickly for your sake. I was having a great time.
I was fine.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I misread the room. Sean, your thoughts on it?
Like you pointed out, you've got Dune Imperium base game down here. Then Rise of Ix, as we've put it there, it's a little bit better. what we were talking about before was with these tokens being able to clear out the market and see more of the cards. That's something that Arc Nova base game doesn't do very well. Has a lot of cards. You can't really see a lot of them. So I think with the addition of this and the whole immortality, I think I'm going to rate it higher than Arc Nova.
New number one
For me. I would pull it out. If I had base game Arc Nova, Dune Imperium with all the expansions, I would grab Dune Imperium over Arc Nova to play that more than that. But yeah, there is always the expansion for Arc Nova to fix that, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see how that goes. As I said, I can't go back and play this without Rise of Ix. It fixes so many gameplay issues, adds new gameplay loops, adds dreadnoughts, which I think are an awesome addition. Immortality adds so many cool things, fixes so many issues. And I think for me, while you mentioned downtime, I think the complexity of this game, how much you have to strategize, outthink other people, the mix of that with the theme of Dune, where all that like political outmaneuvering is just an ingrained part of that culture. I'm with Sean. This is number one with everything that's added
cool.
for me.
And
this is not saying you're wrong.
No. But like that's where
damn, it's good.
You guys are fans of the theme.
It helps.
I do not like the theme.
Yeah.
I have been on the record. We literally said it before we went into the review. I could not care less about the Dune universe to the point where I'm actually starting to dislike it. Where everyone talks about it and I instantly switch off. I would much rather...
But I'm glad you enjoy the game with that.
And that's where I really enjoy the game. I really enjoy how high up it is. When people are like, hey, let's play Dune Imperium, I don't go, eh.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't understand the hype. I don't like the theme. I love the game. I love the gameplay mechanics. That's where... You see the downtime as thematic?
No, it's not that the downtime is thematic. That was the point I was coming back around to. The downtime gives you that extra little bit of time to consider those choices.
Yeah, right.
And I think the game timing is balanced in that way. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, where I'm not. So that's...
Yeah.
Awesome.
That is our thoughts on Dune Imperium with all expansions. Look, well, you rated it down here. Sean and I rated it up top. I think it beats Rise of Ix.
I think so.
And we'll see where other people rate it at the end. So it is still not on top of Arc Nova, but we re-rank this board at the end of the year. It is currently November. Towards the end of December, we will get everybody at Nerds to rate every single game on this board. And we will put it all into a whole list again. You can catch that stream live in December. We have been Nerds of the West. We have a Sean.
Hey.
We have a Reese.
Yo.
My name is Tom. We'll play Dune Imperium Uprising at some point in the future, and we will catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.